Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Derry's Travel Chats for March the 4th, 2021. This online show is all about sharing information about travel, both during and after this pandemic. We're streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. And with that, if you're on YouTube, I invite you to go to my channel and encourage you to subscribe to get notifications for all of any new videos that come up and new live shows as they're coming on in the future. If you have any comments, please leave them in the comment section for whatever platform you're on, and we will attempt to answer them either during or at the end of the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know with the introduction of more vaccines to more countries, we know that people are just waiting at the edge of their seats to book their next vacation. We hope this show gives you an opportunity to look at all the options for your next vacation. And there's no one saying that you have to travel right now, because we know that the borders are still closed and there are a lot of things still happening. So, but this is planning for 2022 and beyond for your next vacation. And, this show is very unique each week. And today, it will be no different. We're looking at the sport of golf today, and particularly in Scotland. And Scotland is well known as the birthplace of golf. And today, I have two of Scotland's leaders in the golf and golfification industry. First, we have Mr. Peter Mitchell. Peter is a managing director with Fairways Golf and has worked with some of Scotland's finest courses, helped with the Create Fairways Scotland to help golfers all over the world experience the exceptional courses and the customer service that Scotland has to offer. Peter has been a member of the Professional Golf Association since 2003. And currently works at Turnhouse Golf Club. As a PGA Pro, Peter has played at a high level and has coached golfers of all ages and abilities. And then joining Peter today is Kerry-Ann Cockburn. Kerry-Ann is also a managing director with Fairways Scotland. Born and bred in Fife, I think that's the way you pronounce it, Kerry.
Yes,
the home of golf. Kerry has over 10 years experience in the golf industry, tourism industry, and graduated from Glasgow University with a degree in geography in 2010, and has always had a passion for golf. As a result, she has attended several Open Championships across Scotland and England. A special highlight was attending the Ryder Cup at Glen Eagles in 2014. And she also witnessed Jack Nicklaus in his final championship at St. Andrews in 2005. So for the next 25 to 30 minutes, both Kerry and Peter will introduce the many opportunities to both play golf and enjoy a Scotland vacation and the destination. So welcome, Kerry and Peter, to Derry's Travel Chats.
Hi.
Thanks for having us. It's great.
So I know we've all been dealing with the pandemic over almost for a full year now, as being locked down in many different ways, some different levels. How is Fairways Scotland Golf dealing with the pandemic?
It's well, as you know, it's affected everybody in the industry, unfortunately. We kind of peaked last year. It was not last year, year before, 2019, with ending the year with the Solheim Cup. So we were all on a high, and then we kind of looking forward to 2020, and then all of a sudden this hits us. So last year was a bit of a write-off for us, unfortunately, having to move a lot of book tours that we had into this year and then beyond. But yeah, I mean, you've always got to look on the bright side of it. You've got to look forward, and I hope that people realise now that we are kind of seeing the light of it. Certainly here in Scotland, they seem to be rolling out the vaccination programme pretty good. And yeah, we're hopeful that certainly within the UK we may be able to travel to different parts. With a view that at the end of the year, start of next year, that we can welcome people back from around the world to come and play all our phenomenal golf courses.
So during last summer, there was some places had a high and a low. Were you able domestically to be able to open to golf players?
Well, yeah, we managed to do a little bit kind of before lockdown, so to speak. So we were kind of put into lockdown end of March officially. So we did a little bit there with just local groups, and then again towards the end of September, October, we opened up a little bit again before the lockdown 2, so to speak. We managed to do some local tours, people from down south and in and around Scotland and things like that. But there was nothing as far as international travel or anything like that was concerned. So yeah, it was tough, but it affected the entire industry. So yeah, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy.
No, I know, and it's pretty well, I mean, the same just about everywhere. I just want to let so people understand we're all in this together, no matter where we're to in the world. So
that's exactly it.
So Kerry-Ann, I think you're going to give us a little bit of an overview of Fairways Scotland and what your company does and how you provide a service, the golf service, and some of the things that you do to make not only golf but just your the visit to Scotland and it very enjoyable. I've been there, and I can tell you it's very enjoyable to be in Scotland. I'll let you prepare your presentation here now for our viewers, and we can all learn what Fairview's golf can offer to Fairway. Sorry, I keep saying Fairviews because of the Fairviews here in Newfoundland. So
yeah, that's fine. I'll just bring it up now. Hopefully you can see that okay.
There you go.
Yeah, good to go. Yeah, it's just a short presentation, just kind of an overview of what Scotland has to offer, mainly in terms of golf, but also other aspects and things as well, and just a brief explanation of us as Fairways Scotland and what we can offer. Obviously, you are completely spoilt for choice in Scotland. There's more than 500 golf courses, so there's a course for everyone to enjoy. A huge range of courses to suit budgets and skill level, etc. So this is just a general map, or just an overview of some of the main golf courses around Scotland, and just some of your key golfing locations. So we have Aberdeenshire up on the northeast of Scotland. You've also got down in Ayrshire on the west coast, East Lothian, just outside of Edinburgh, along Scotland's golf coast, and across the water you have St Andrews and Fife. And then you've also got up north towards the Highland, where you'll find the likes of Royal Dornoch and Castle Stewart. So that's just a sort of brief overview. There's so many golf courses, so clearly you won't be able to tick them off all in one trip. So we recommend more than one trip if you want to tick off as many as you want. So yeah, one of the main attractions for golf in Scotland is the open venues. Prestwick is the original open venue which first hosted the championship in 1860. You also have Carnoustie, Ailsa, Turnberry, Muirfield and Royal Troon, which recently hosted the Open in 2016, and it will return in 2024. So that's something to look forward to. And of course, not forgetting St Andrews Old Course. So that's the home of golf. It's probably the most famous golf course in the world and has hosted the Open a record 29 times. It's set to host the 150th Open in 2022. So again, a massive excitement around that. It got postponed from 2021 due to obviously the pandemic. So everyone's hoping it's going to be an amazing, as it always is in St Andrews, so it's probably going to be bigger and better than it ever has been. So more than 42,000 rounds are played each year on the Old Course, so massive amount of golfers every year loving the Old Course and wanting to play, massive demand to play. And along with the Old Course, St Andrews Links has 6 other golf courses. They have the new Jubilee, Castle, Eden, Strathtyrum, and then there's also the 9-hole Ball Golf Course. Plus, you have over 40 other amazing golf courses in the surrounding area in Fife. Dunbarney Golf Links is the latest addition to Fife. It was very exciting when that opened and launched. It's already getting massive feedback, and it's a spectacular course and set to be a marquee course and probably going to host events as well in the future. So yeah, definitely a good addition to the area. So along with the open venues, you also have hundreds of other top championship courses in Scotland. We are known for our famous, stunning golf links along the coast, and that's a massive pool for visitors coming in from all over the world. Some of these courses include the likes of Kings Barnes, Castle Stewart and Royal Dornoch in the Highlands. You have North Berwick and Gullin in East Lothian, and also Royal Aberdeen. Royal Aberdeen, Castle Stewart and Gullin have all hosted the Scottish Open. So again, fantastic events in Scotland. It's amazing how visitors can view these courses on TV and come and play and follow the footsteps of their favourite golfers and play these amazing courses. So it's an amazing thing for visitors to be able to do. Scotland is also prized for its hidden gems, which are scattered across the country. Again, naming a few, you have Kilmarnock Barassi, Kilspindie, the Glen Golf Club, Machrihanish Dunes, Moray Golf Club, and also Fortrose and Rosemarkie, which is the 15th oldest golf club in the world. So if you want to have a shelter from the coast, because it can get a bit wild along the Scottish seaside, we do have some beautiful parkland courses and things as well. So you have the Rosemount in Blairgowrie, Ladybank Golf Club in Fife, Turnhouse, which we've mentioned for Peter, that's a local golf club just outside Edinburgh and near the airport. You also have Spey Valley and Bottlegarten, which are in the Highlands, just north of Avonmore, and the PGA at Gleneagles, which has hosted the Ryder Cup and the Solheim Cup. And there's also the Kings and Queens courses there as well at Gleneagles. So there's 3 courses on site at Gleneagles, which again attract a huge amount of golfers every year too. So as briefly mentioned, Scotland has and will continue to host wonderful golfing events each year, which attract thousands of golfers every year, and again, as I've said, viewed across the world on TV. So we have the Open, the Women's Open, which is hopefully going to happen this year at Royal Troon. There's the Men's and Ladies Scottish Open. Again, as I've said about the Ryder Cup and Solheim Cup, which was a massive success at Gleneagles. amazing to be able to be part of these events and attend them. It's really a dream scenario being in Scotland and being able to go to these types of things. And also you have your Dunhill Links Championship. So that's an annual event that's played across 3 courses, Carnoustie, Kingsbarns and the Old. And it's just a great fun event. Celebrities get involved in things as well. And it's just a nice, relaxed, fun event where you can get up quite close and personal to the players and the celebrities. So it's a good one to attend if you are going to be in Scotland during that time. So obviously we are biased and golf is the main event, but it's a whole lot of other fantastic offerings as well off the course. That's the beauty of Scotland. You know, you don't have to travel too far to be somewhere completely different. You can be in the hustle and bustle of Edinburgh, and then a short drive you can be along the beautiful coastline or in the remote countryside and just feel like you're away from it all. So there's plenty of sightseeing opportunities for golfers if they want some time off, or also non-golfers if there's any non-golfers travelling in the group. So perhaps a whisky distillery tour, or discover one of Scotland's craft breweries. Or we have over 3,000 castles in Scotland, so you're never too far away from one of its famous landmarks. And we have a vast amount of museums, so visitors can learn obviously all about the history of Scotland and many different aspects of the history of the country. As I've said, that a lot of our customers like to enjoy the hustle and bustle of the cities at night, enjoy the good food and drink. Edinburgh alone attracts more than 2 million visitors a year, so massive city for us, and always love having the visitors come, especially for the festival time over the summer. It's a great time to be in the city. And there's also, if you want to get involved, plenty of opportunities for activities, adventure and outdoor pursuits. So why not try your hand at some clay pigeon shooting, falconry, off-road driving, or if you find you want to maybe have more relaxing activity, you can perhaps do some fishing or enjoy a relaxing boat trip on one of our stunning lochs. So just a short brief about ourselves, Fairways Scotland. As I say, it's just myself and Peter that are at the company. So we like to provide that personal service to our clients. All of our packages are completely bespoke and tailor-made to create packages that are tailored to individual requirements. So, you tell us what you want and we try to match that as best we can. Our packages include transport, accommodation, golf, and as I say, anything else. If you have any questions, please let us know. Our aim is basically to provide clients with a completely unique and unforgettable golf tour experience personal to them. As I've said, we've touched on with the main things, the golf and the sightseeing options. Also, Scotland offer a huge range of fantastic accommodation. It sometimes can be a bit overwhelming where to start, or where you want to stay, or what there is. So that's again where we come in. We can recommend the suitable accommodation for what you're looking for or your group. So you have from your 3 to 5 star hotels, your B&B guest houses if you're looking for that more cosy, homely Scottish experience maybe. Also there's self-catering options, likes of like cottages and lodges if you perhaps like to have your own space. Service departments as well can offer you that space as well, with the added benefit of arranged breakfast and things like that. And then if you're looking for something totally extra special, there's many amazing exclusive use properties around Scotland. So if you're celebrating something or you have a larger party, these places can be, just such a great experience for the group. For example, one of the properties we use just outside of St Andrews has its very own driving range and a short game area in the back garden. So that's always nice, and a hot tub doesn't go wrong either. So yeah, plenty of amazing accommodation options. So as we've touched on as well earlier, with Peter Mitchell, the Managing Director as well, has been a member of the Professional Golfers Association since 2003. So he can provide golf tuition for clients at Turnhouse Golf Club, which is just located just 5 minutes from Edinburgh Airport. provide some of the best practice facilities, including Flight Scope X or TrackMan launch monitoring, if anyone wants that, get into the nitty-gritty. With first-hand experience in playing many of the top courses as well, Peter can obviously offer advice and recommendations and any tips for playing golf in Scotland for the first time. And finally, just about the transport options that we offer, we can provide self-drive packages, so we can arrange the rental of an automatic vehicle with GPS. We also can provide airport and golf transfers, or if you want the full shebang, we can have a full luxury coach or driver for the duration of your tour. A member of Fairways Scotland will always meet with you at the airport to assist with the collection of your rental vehicle and introduce you to your driver, and also provide you with a welcome pack, which will include everything you need for your time in Scotland, which will include your personalised itinerary, maps, guidebooks, and a welcome gift. So that's, just kind of sums it all up. So that's whetted your appetite for a golfing trip in Scotland, and covers what we can do. So thank you.
So Kerry or Peter, what do you think is the best timeline length for someone to take as a vacation or spend in Scotland playing golf? What would be the ideal timeline?
Well, a lot of guys, obviously, depending on how far they're travelling and what sort of golf courses they're looking to play. Anything less than sort of 7 days, you're kind of rushing about. If you want to tick off all the big golf courses, although Scotland's quite a small country in the grand scheme of things, you're still from area to area, sort of open course to open course, or the marquee courses. You've still got a few hours travel here and there kind of thing. So it's not something you want to be playing a golf course and then driving 4 hours to then play another one kind of thing. So you want to enjoy it as much and soak it all up. So we kind of say a sort of minimum 7 days if you want to tick off maybe a couple of regions to play some of the marquee and obviously the hidden gem type golf courses that we have in abundance. So
I noticed many of your courses have very few trees.
Blowing out the ground most of the time.
Well, that would be very difficult for me because most of the time when I play here, I spend it in the woods. So, and I'm also known I do better at cutting up sods than I do driving the ball. So, how accessible are a lot of these major courses to amateur golfers?
Very much so. If you have a handicap, some of them have a handicap limit, which you've got to show certification, which you can understand, because at the end of the day, they don't want people who perhaps haven't played golf before coming to try and experience that, and causing a bit of havoc, if you know what I mean. If they're kind of cutting their way about the golf course, never seen it before, and they're holding up the hundreds of people that are trying to play that day. So yeah, a lot of these bigger golf courses, so to speak, ask for proof of handicap, which obviously any club golfer can easily get from their club or club manager kind of thing. So planning, obviously, huge part of it. So advanced planning, the further out you can book or have an idea what you're looking for, the easier it is to create an itinerary where you can play everything you want to play within one trip. The shorter lead time you go to that, it becomes quite challenging to be able to coordinate travel and tee times kind of thing, because obviously the demand to play golf over here is so huge. So but for the amateur golfer with a handicap certificate of a reasonable standard, I think handicap the highest
Usually
36 for ladies and 24 for gents. I know that we over here in Scotland we're moving to the stroke index and the slope rating, which the Scottish governing body golf governing body are trying to introduce this year. So there'll be a few funky handicaps on this side of the water till it settles down. But they're just trying to introduce that to get on par with the rest of the world in Europe. So that'll be good.
My 100 handicap probably wouldn't work with it.
Nah, they may ask you to hit a few balls before you go out to prove
it. I mean, amateur golf is what the travel and vacation is all about. Is for primarily for amateurs. I mean, yes, I know the professionals do it as well, but how do you see amateur golf continuing because of the pandemic? And are there things that are, I guess, holding people back from probably playing places that they would have liked to play, but because of the pandemic may not play anymore?
Well, to be honest, from a local perspective or a Scottish perspective, working at a golf club, golf's taken a huge boom within the pandemic, which is one of the few things that's come out of it quite good. Certainly local golf, club golf, that kind of thing, because it's about the only thing that you can do safely, and all the golf clubs around the country are drilled and have done wonderfully to adhere to all the guidelines to keep golfers safe, but still allow them to exercise and go out and play, which is phenomenal. And going forward, obviously, when people can travel, looking at golf courses, clubs, and then hotels and things like that as well, with all the guidelines and safety in place, we've no doubt that people will be very, very confident to start travelling and coming to play golf in Scotland again. And big thing is retaining the golfers. Hopefully they've experienced enough over the last year during lockdown that they've been bitten by the golfing bug, so they can get out and play some of these tremendous golf courses. And from what I gather, obviously it's happening kind of all over the world. There's been a huge influx in golf, so long may it continue. More golfers and more competition, and yeah, it just becomes great. It's gone through a few slumps in its time, but hopefully we're riding the crest of a wave at the moment.
So your role, you do a lot of teaching and support. So do you play that role as well as part of Fairways Golf?
Yeah, well, I'm at the golf club where I grew up as a kid. So I did my PGA training when I left school. I wanted to be a golf pro, and that's what I did. So the general manager at Turnhouse now, which is my club I've grew up at, I did my apprenticeship under him over at Aberdour, which is just over in Fife beside Kerry-Ann. So he was offered the position as a general manager and asked me to come on board and get back in and look after the members, and that's what I'm doing. So yeah, it's a bit to juggle about with small family as well, but we Kerry-Ann and I get our heads together every other day and make sure that we're focused on what we're doing. But it's a great tool to have, because the location, obviously being quite close to Edinburgh Airport and the facilities that we've got, that it works hand in hand. It's great. We've had when we could have clients travel, we did sort of clinic mornings where the non-golfers would continue with the driver into the city centre and do a bit of shopping and a bit of sightseeing, and the golfers would stay, and I'd teach them how to play the old low link shots on the range and have a bit of fun, a bit of lunch, and then they go out and play Turnhouse before they set off to St Andrews or whatever destination they were going to. So yeah, it kind of dovetails, and it's good. It's a great place to be and be part of. So yeah.
So Kerry-Ann, I mean, people can drive around, self-drive to different places with your guidance, but you also have, I think you mentioned you have some drivers that could, because I mean, with every golf game, there's always the 19th hole that people tend to hang out in afterwards. So
everybody's favorite hole.
So you want to be able to make sure that people are staying safe. So what other extra things do Fairways provide, and to provide that kind of service as well?
Yeah, of course, because with the drivers and things, you know, they've got the local knowledge as well. And when the coaches, you know, it's high-end coaches that we use, and yeah, the fridges on board are plenty stocked as well, with some goodies for the golfers to enjoy. So you know, and we also provide tips and things on restaurant recommendations, private dinners, all these types of things. Especially we find if there's special occasions, if someone celebrate a birthday or retirements and things like that. You know, we kind of always want to go that extra mile and give our clients something different and something special. And say, because everyone that we work with, like our drivers and ourselves, have got local knowledge of being in Scotland and from Scotland, born and bred in Scotland. You know, we'd like to think we know the good spots to go for that drink and celebration after a good trip or a good round or celebrating a hole in one, whatever happens on the course. So yeah, it's kind of what our main goal is.
And do you arrange distillery tours and things like that for people?
Yeah, we can do that. Say castle visits, distillery tours, boat trips, even like touching on the activities. I've found guys are really interested in just experiencing fishing, just having a day fishing, just something totally different that they've never done before. Off-road driving, that's also an amazing experience. They go right up into the hills, up into the Highlands, and you just get stunning views out over Scotland and just experiencing the wildlife and things as well. So there's just an abundance of things that Scotland can offer, and if our clients want to do it, then you know we will make it happen. So
can you guarantee to seeing the Loch Ness?
No. It definitely is there.
Just to as we begin to conclude here, I know Peter, the golf world took a little bit of a shaking last week with a very unfortunate accident by probably what is known as one of the world's best golfers, being Tiger Woods. How is that being taken on the other side of the pond, and how do people, the golfing world, looking at this very unfortunate incident?
Well, looking from the outside into it, I mean, everybody was a bit of a shock of what's happened. He was looking like he would be on the cusp of coming back to perhaps try and get back for the Masters, but I mean, there's been huge amounts of support, certainly over social media, from a lot of the European golfers and golfers around the world, just wishing him all the best. He's obviously had a bit of a rough time of it with regards to injuries, back operations and things like that. But I mean, he came back. I mean, he won the US Open with a double fracture in his leg, and he came back and won the Masters after countless back operations. So you can never say never for when Tiger's concerned. But I think my heart says yes, but my head says perhaps he might be toiling to play again. I hope I'm wrong. If it's all just media saying having pins and rods in his leg and things like that, hopefully it's not as bad as it sounds. But I think after undergoing that kind of operation, as well as his back ops, which he's currently trying to recover from, I think it could be a long road if he gets to play golf again competitively. But touch wood, we get him back, because he's certainly a huge figure in the game.
All right. Well, I want to thank you both for coming on the show today. I can't wait to get back to Scotland. I don't know if I will play golf over there, but if I can afford the repairs to the green, to the fairway. But thank you very, very much for providing the information, and I hope all those who are interested in having a golf vacation when all this pandemic is over, that we can put together a great little package for people to go over and be part of your program, and really enjoy such a beautiful country as Scotland. So again, thank you very much for being part of my show today.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you for having us. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to visiting, welcoming visitors again. So yeah, fingers crossed. But thank you.
All right. Well, have a enjoyable rest of your evening, because it's after, I know it's after the dinner hour there. Yeah. So enjoy the rest of your evening, and hopefully we'll talk again soon.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
All right. Take
Thanks
care.
for that. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's another show for today. Thank you very much for tuning in. And next week, we'll have a very special guest on, Mr. Robert Rose. He's the executive producer and host of Raw Travel TV, which is seen around the world in many different countries. And we'll get an opportunity to hear what of his experiences and how he sees travel for the future. So enjoy. We'll see you again next week, and thanks very much for viewing.